Shalom, giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, and shalom to the brothers out there that's tuned in. I just want to go on a quick video going into basically the dreams that I had. I'm just going to get straight into it. When I was in this dream, it gets a little random because it kind of switched up on me. But in a dream, I thought to believe that there was getting ready to be a nuclear, or basically a missile that's getting ready to drop in the vicinity that I was in. And as I look into the sky, I seen something coming down, but it didn't seem like it was a missile. It was something that was on a parachute, and there was a lot of them being dropped down, and they were on parachutes, and they were coming down. And this is why it gets kind of a little weird, because it kind of switched up. But as it came down, it came into the vicinity that I was in, and it dropped down. And I didn't know what it was at first, but then I went closer to it, and it was nothing but it was a big battery. I'm not sure why at first it was a battery, but it was like some type of big battery. It was for something. It was big, like it's not something that you normally would use for your essential needs, but it's like a big old battery. It's kind of weird shape too. And after that, I think these trucks started pulling up, but it wasn't just regular trucks. Like it was pulling up, but it was robots that was coming out of it. And the first one that I noticed was one of those robot dogs. And what I perceived that the battery was needed for those dogs or for those robots to be powered. And here I can show you a quick image of. Yeah, this is exactly how it looked in my dream, particularly the gray looking ones. This is exactly how they looked. This is what I seen in the dream. And yeah, these robot dogs, they were fast. It's like when it runs at you, it's like a spider. You know how a spider just runs so fast? They were running fast. And I'm like, dang, these things are fast. And I believe there was more robots. There was another robot, and this was actually like a human version robot. It wasn't a dog; it was a human version, but it didn't look like a human. So the face on the robot, it had like a glass screen, it had a glass screen in the middle of its chest as well. And they were fast too, and also they were intelligent. They were able to pick up and scan your heart rates and show it on the monitor that was on their face. And it would be different colors. And it would show like each individual that's in the vicinity, their heart rate will pop up. And if it's at a certain high level of a heart rate, it will like trigger it. It would trigger it. Deeming it as a threat. And it would do this, like basically if it was given orders and then you didn't respect the orders that it was given and you kept ignoring the orders, it was a certain threat level that would just intentionally, it'll go from green to yellow to red. And once you get to red, that's when the gunfire goes out. But thinking about it, it seemed like these robots were prototype, because you would think it was shoot, but when it was shooting, there was no bullets coming out. It was more than likely it's like I said, the dream is kind of random. I'm not sure but it was more like a prototype robot. And yeah, it would shoot, but there would be no bullets coming out. It was just basically, it was like being showed of what these the capability these robots could potentially have, because it was able to scan your heart rate. It was able to deem you what type of threat level that you are, and once you're at that red state, that red level, basically it's termination. It's gonna take you out basically. And yeah, I believe these robots they're working with the working with the the army, the police troops, and all that stuff like that. So in the vision, you know, it was just I believe it was just showing you, hey, the future technology that Esau got, man, because he been exposing a lot of these robots, and it's crazy. Y'all seen this exact robot dog, the gray one, you know, in my dream. You know, I've been seeing a lot of videos lately of the human version of the robots. They're getting more intelligent, you know, able to move more slick, and you know, have more advanced capabilities than before. So that was, I believe it was a dream of, you know, basically of the future, how it's gonna be in the future, man. You know, and like I said, these robots, man, they were fast, they were smart, precise, and I could tell it. But it was, like I said, it was a prototype. I could tell because once you hit that threat level, hey, and the robots, it just starts this, like, he had like a gun on his waist, or it wasn't even a gun. It was like some type of thing that was able to shoot bullets out of his waist. And I could hear you, but nothing was coming out. Cause I guess it was like a prototype or something like that. But yeah, that was basically the dream. I'm not sure there was more of it or not. But like I said, there was, even though I seen the one I'm looking up, mind you, there was more parachutes. There was more of those drops coming down different locations. I'm not sure if there were, maybe the other ones could have been robots, but the ones that came down to me, around me, was a battery. And yeah, and other ones, I perceive that they were maybe robots. And yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a precept, you know, just give me 1 second. Yeah, because I didn't really come up with any precepts. I just wanted to speak on the dream real quick. But now that I think, you know, that battery could represent power, you know, you have your enemies coming in, because, you know, at Esau, he's the main enemy, but he also creates other other things that go against us. So not only that, these damn devils, Esau Edom is gonna be your enemy, but you got to deal with his equipment, man. His his weapons. You know, but let me get this out real quick. So Isaiah 59 verse 19, so shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh from the west, and its glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. And that's basically going to spiritual power. You know, when the enemies, you know, surround you about, they're getting ready to come in on you, that's when the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is going to, you know, it's going to lift up that standard. Basically, spiritual power is going to be bestowed upon you to be able to defend yourself, or to be able to escape that certain situation. You know, and hey, Lord's will. That's what we hope for. So I just kind of wanted to explain that dream. Sorry if it was kind of vague, but so like that's kind of vague, but with all that, I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kakwadash. Again, double honor to the elders and apostles, the great millstone, and shalom to the brothers out there that's tuned in. Shalom.